Hi and welcome back to the bench. My name is Shai with Resurrection Instrument Repair, where we revive your instruments from the dead, one solder joint at a time. Today in the shop we have an absolutely beautiful 1975 Rhodes Mark I electric piano in for a full restoration. In order to restore your Rhodes piano, you first need to understand how your piano works. Fender Rhodes and Rhodes pianos are completely mechanical. They produce their iconic sound when a hammer tip strikes the tine. The sound produced is then picked up by the corresponding pickup and sent to an amplifier. Naturally, over time, the parts inside of your Rhodes will begin to deteriorate, resulting in dead and non-vibrant tones like this. Luckily, these issues can be resolved with a little bit of work, which I'll be walking you through step by step. In today's video, you will learn how to replace your tone bar grommets and screws, how to replace your hammer tips, how to tune your Rhodes, how to voice your Rhodes, and how to clean your Rhodes. All of these parts are time-stamped in the description below for your convenience. The first thing that we are going to tackle is installing new tone bar grommets and screws. The first thing that you will need is to pick up a grommet and screw kit from the lovely folks over at Vintage Vibe and assemble all of the screws. When you get your kit, you will receive screws, grommets, and washers. You will want to assemble all of these first before removing any of the old screws. You will want to take the screw and push it through the washer, then slip the grommet on after that. It should look something like this. Once again, that order is screw, washer, grommet. After you have assembled the screws, the next step is to remove the old screws. Rhodes pianos come pre-voiced from the factory, and we want to try our best to keep the piano voiced as close to how it would have left the factory. In order to do this, it is crucial that you do not remove both screws on your tone bar at the same time. Instead, what you will want to do is look at the tone bar's height compared to the other surrounding tone bars. You will notice that they are not all level with one another. This is by design. After noting the height of the tone bar, you will also want to note the positioning of the tine to the pickup itself. You will want to remove the tone bar screw closest to the keys. When you do this, you will see the tone bar dip downward. Once you get the screw removed, you might have to also remove the spring that sets under the tone bar and remove the rest of the old grommet like you see me doing here. Once you get the spring nice and clean, you will want to reinstall the spring and install the new screw that we assembled earlier. As you tighten down the screw, you should see the tone bar begin to raise back up. As it starts to raise back up, try to remember where that tone bar originally sat in relevance to the surrounding tone bars, and try to get the tone bar as close as possible to the original placement. This does not have to be 100% perfect, as we will be revoicing the piano, but taking your time on this step will significantly decrease the amount of voicing work you will have to do later, so definitely take your time and do not rush this step. Once you get all of the tone bar screws closest to the keys done, you will then want to repeat the same process to the front screws, remembering to note the position of both the tone bar and the tine. Once you finish installing all of the front tow bar screws, then you have successfully completed step 1 of restoring your Rhodes. The next step of the restoration process is replacing all of the hammer tips. First, I want to show you how to not remove a hammer tip. You do not want to pull the hammer tip to the side. If you do, it results in the top of the hammer tip just ripping off while leaving behind the teeth that actually holds the tip onto the hammer. If you do this, you will have to go through, like you see me doing here with a razor blade, and cleaning out all of that residual rubber off of the hammer to ensure that the new one can properly stick. Now that you know how to not remove a hammer tip, let's see how you properly remove one. When removing a hammer tip, you will want to hold the hammer and gently pull the hammer tip towards you, like you see me doing here. You can see that the little rubber teeth that are holding the hammer tip in place will release, allowing the tip to pop off and leaving minimal rubber residue. Once you do this to all of your hammers and clean up any of the residual rubber with a razor blade, then you are ready to install your new hammer tips. You will want to apply a small amount of glue to the hammer tip like this. Don't overdo this step or you will have squeeze out, which can cause a huge mess. Less is more in this case. The first thing that you will notice about your hammer tip kit is that the tips are separated into each individual zones. This is incredibly important to match the hammer tips to the right hammers. Using this helpful guide, I went ahead and linked this guide as well as some other helpful materials provided by the folks over at Vintage Vibe in the description of this video. The next step is placing the tip on the hammer. You will want to push the tip to rest behind the lip like you see in this picture. You will also want to make sure that the tip is centered and not hanging off the side of the hammer. Once you are happy with the placement, you will want to push downwards with a good amount of force, making sure to hold the hammer itself to help stabilize it. You will want to hold the hammer tip in place for about 10 to 20 seconds. After you're done, you can let go of the tip. Normally, I will try to push the tip around a little just to make sure that it is nice and secure. Once you are confident that the tip is secure, you can play the key a few times. If you do this, you will want to make sure that your harp is lifted. You do not want that freshly glued hammer tip hitting the tine for at least a few hours. You will then repeat this process to the rest of the hammer tips on the piano. Now, when it comes to tuning, most Rhodes are normally in tune and will not need much adjustments at all. So in order to determine if your Rhodes is out of tune, you will want to lower the harp back down so the hammers can't strike the tines. Remember, do not do this immediately after gluing your hammer tips. You want to give them at least a few hours to dry. So once your hammer tips are dry, you can lower the harp back down. Once the harp is back down and the hammers can strike the tines, you will want to use a tuner, either one on your phone or a physical one, to go down the keyboard and check the tuning. If everything looks good, then you don't need to make any adjustments. If you have some notes out of tune, then you will need to make some adjustments to the spring that is connected to your tone bar. Depending on the positioning of the spring on the tone bar, this will change your tuning. Let's say that your note is flat, then you will need to gently slide the spring towards the key to raise the pitch. If your note is sharp, then you will need to slide the spring towards the pickup. Once all of the notes are in tune, you can then move on to voicing. Now, when it comes to voicing your Rhodes piano, it's honestly a very difficult process to describe. About 90% of voicing comes down to having a good ear. When you voice a Rhodes, you are moving the tine's positioning via the tone bar screws to the pickup itself. This positioning can greatly affect the tone of your Rhodes. I would suggest checking out this amazing video from Tines and Reeds that showcases the different voicing options. The video even features these really helpful diagrams that show the tine's placement in relevance to the pickup. I've gone ahead and linked their video down in the caption below. Now that the mechanical side of the restoration is done, I am going to turn my focus to the aesthetics of the piano. The first thing that I start with is wiping down and cleaning all of the keys. At this time, I also sweep out the case. Next, I remove all of the hardware, including the bump guards, the handles, logo, mounting plates for the legs, and all of the screws. Once removed, I then pour some turtle wax into my cup and got my Dremel out and began buffing all of the hardware to a high gloss. Now, if you are following along at home, please be sure to wear ear protection, eye protection, and tie back any long hair or baggy clothing. Believe me when I say the last thing that you want to do is damage your hearing, burn your eyes with turtle wax, or God forbid, accidentally scalp yourself or destroy your clothes. With that being said, you might also be very tempted to wear a pair of gloves to keep your hands clean. But this is also a big no-no. You never ever want to wear any type of gloves around any type of rotating tool. It is something really easy to accidentally do, but the outcomes can be absolutely horrible. Once you finish buffing all of your hardware, you will want to set that aside and get to work cleaning the cases. I spray a liberal amount of either Armor All or Turtle Wax LVR cleaner onto the Tolex, making sure to hold the bottle about 10 to 12 inches back from the case. Now, when you are working on a case that is this big, you will want to work in small sections rather than soaking the entire case in the cleaner and letting that sit. After spraying the cleaner onto a small section, you will want to then use a drill brush working in a circular motion to remove any dirt trapped in the Tolex. After scrubbing for about 30 seconds to a minute, you will then want to immediately spray the area with a good amount of water to help flow all of that dirt and cleaner out of the Tolex before wiping it away with a paper towel. You will want to repeat this process across the entire case. Once you finish that, you can reinstall your hardware and put the piano back together. And congratulations, you have successfully restored your Rhodes piano. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to stick around till the end for a demo of this incredible piano. If you guys have not already, you can also follow me on all of my social platforms, which are linked in the caption, where I post even more instrument repair content daily. If you guys have made it this far in the video, please comment something that you have either learned from today's video or a topic that you would like to see me cover. Alrighty guys, and with all of that out of the way, remember, fix what you can, share what you know, and always play with your heart. We are all in this jam together. Until next time, peace.